Dad kicked me out at 18 saying I'd come crawling back when the real world hits. Mom watched from the doorway and did nothing. It's been 9 years. I'm now 27 and successful, and they keep calling asking me to come home. This morning they called again, and I'm the one not answering. Reddit, I'm shaking as I write this. My phone has been blowing up all morning and I don't know what to do anymore. Background, I'm Alex, 27M. This story starts when I was 18, fresh out of high school and about to make the biggest mistake of my life, or so my dad thought. Growing up, my parents' dad, 52, Mom, 49 at the time, had very specific ideas about what success looked like. Dad worked construction his whole life, good steady job, owned his own small company by the time I graduated. Mom was a stay-at-home wife who did bookkeeping for Dad's business. They weren't rich, but we were comfortable. Solid middle-class family in suburban Ohio. The problem started when I told them I wanted to go to art school. Not just any art school, I'd gotten accepted to a pretty prestigious program in California for digital media and game design. Yeah, I wanted to make video games. In 2015, this was still seen as not a real job by a lot of people, especially blue-collar parents who thought anything involving computers was either a phase or a scam. I'd saved up money from working part-time jobs throughout high school, had some scholarship money, and was willing to take out loans for the rest. I wasn't asking them for tuition money, just their support. That's not what I got. Art school. Dad laughed when I showed him the acceptance letter. You want to play with computers and call it a career. That's not how the real world works, son. Mom just stood there nodding along. She always deferred to Dad on the big decisions, which apparently included my entire future. You've got 2 choices, Dad continued. Go to community college here, study something useful like business or accounting and work for me part-time, or get out of my house and figure it out yourself. I thought he was bluffing. Parents don't actually kick their kids out for wanting to go to college, right? Even if it's not the college they wanted. I was wrong. The fight escalated over the next few weeks. Every dinner became a battlefield. Dad would bring up kids these days who think they're too good for honest work. Mom would make passive-aggressive comments about how I was breaking the family apart with my stubbornness. You think you're better than us, Dad said one night. You think our life isn't good enough for you. That wasn't it at all. I respected what they'd built, but I wanted something different. I tried explaining that video game industry was actually huge, that people made real money doing this, that digital media was the future. But every conversation ended the same way. When you're sleeping under a bridge in California, don't come crying to us, was Dad's favorite line. The final showdown happened 3 days after graduation. I'd been secretly preparing for California, had my acceptance paperwork filled out, even started looking at apartments online with roommates. I figured once they saw I was serious and had a real plan, they'd come around. Instead, Dad found my paperwork. I came home from my goodbye party with friends to find my dad standing in the living room, holding my housing application and deposit check. "What is this?" he asked, waving the papers. "It's my housing application for. I told you what your options were, community college or get out." "Dad, just listen to me. I've got it all figured out." "No, you listen to me." His voice got that scary, quiet tone he used when he was really angry. "I have busted my ass for 18 years to provide for this family. I've given you a roof over your head, food on the table, clothes on your back. And this is how you repay me, by throwing it all away for some fantasy. It's not a fantasy. This is a real school, a real career. Real," he was shouting now. "You want to see real? Real is getting up at 5 a.m. every day. Real is working with your hands, building something that matters. Real is responsibility. What you want is to play games for the rest of your life." That's when Mom appeared in the doorway. I looked at her, hoping she'd step in, say something, anything. We used to be close when I was younger. She's the one who bought me my first computer, who signed me up for summer computer camps. She just stood there, arms crossed, watching. "Here's what's going to happen," Dad continued. "You're going to throw away those papers, apologize for wasting everyone's time, and sign up for community college tomorrow, or you can pack your bags and leave my house tonight." "You don't mean that," I said. "Try me." The silence that followed felt like forever. I kept looking between Dad's furious face and Mom's blank expression, waiting for someone to laugh, to say they were kidding, to hug me and tell me they just wanted what was best for me. Nothing. "Fine," I said finally. "I'll pack." I expected Dad to back down then. I expected him to say, "Don't be ridiculous," or "Let's talk about this like adults." I expected Mom to step in and mediate like she usually did. Instead, Dad nodded. "You've got 1 hour." That hour was the longest of my life. I packed everything I could fit into 2 duffel bags and a backpack. Clothes, laptop, important documents, the $3,200 I'd saved from my job. I kept waiting for one of them to come upstairs, to say they'd changed their minds, that we could work something out. Dad spent the hour in his workshop, probably to avoid facing what he was doing. But Mom sat at the kitchen table, drinking coffee and reading a magazine like nothing was happening. When I came downstairs with my bags, she finally looked up. "You sure about this?" She asked quietly. For a second, I thought she was going to help. I thought she was asking if I was sure because she wanted me to stay. "You could just go to community college for a year," she continued. "See how you feel then." That's when I realized she wasn't trying to help me. She was giving me one last chance to give in. "I'm sure," I said. Dad emerged from the workshop as I was loading my car, a beat-up Honda Civic I'd bought with my own money. He stood on the porch, arms crossed, watching me struggle with my bags. "You'll be back," he called out as I closed the trunk. "When the real world hits you, when you're broke and hungry and realize what a mistake you made, you'll come crawling back. But don't expect me to make it easy for you." I looked at him, then at Mom, who had joined him on the porch. Still silent, still watching. "Maybe I will," I said, "but maybe I won't." I drove away that night with nowhere to go, slept in my car in a Walmart parking lot, crying and questioning everything. Called my friend Jake at 2 a.m. and his family let me crash on their couch for a week while I figured out my next move. The next few months were hell. I moved to California with basically nothing, shared a crappy apartment with 3 other guys, worked 2 part-time jobs while going to school full-time, survived on ramen noodles and determination. But here's the thing: I didn't crawl back. I threw myself into my studies, networked like crazy, took every internship I could find. By my junior year, I was working part-time at a small game development studio. By the time I graduated, they offered me a full-time position. I'm not going to lie and say it was easy or that I didn't have moments of doubt. There were nights I stared at my phone, wanting to call home, wanting to apologize and ask if I could come back. But I was also angry. Angry that they'd thrown me away so easily. Angry that they'd made me choose between their love and my dreams. So I didn't call. They didn't call either for the first 2 years. I found out later from my aunt, Dad's sister, that Dad had forbidden anyone in the family from contacting me. He made his choice, was apparently his official position. Mom went along with it as usual. The first contact came during my sophomore year. A text from Mom: "Hope you're doing okay. Love you." That was it. No "sorry we kicked you out," no "your father misses you," just 5 words after 2 years of silence. I didn't respond. I wasn't ready. More texts trickled in over the years. Updates about family events I wasn't invited to, holidays I wasn't welcome at, achievements I had no one to share with. They were always from Mom, never Dad. Always brief, always vague. "Your cousin Jenny got married." "Grandpa's in the hospital." "Dad's business is doing well." Never "we were wrong." Never "please come home." Never "we're proud of you." I graduated with honors, got promoted twice, moved to a better apartment, started dating someone amazing. My life was good. Not perfect, but good. I was making decent money doing something I loved, had great friends, was happy. but there was always this hole where my family should have been. The texts from Mom got more frequent after I turned 25, more personal. She started sharing details about their lives, almost like she was trying to maintain a relationship through one-sided conversations. Your dad's back is acting up again. We got a new dog, golden retriever named Charlie. Saw your high school friend Tom at the grocery store. He asked about you. I still didn't respond, but I read every single one. Then, 6 months ago, everything changed. I got promoted to senior developer at my company. Big raise, stock options, my own team. I was proud of myself, excited about the future. For the first time in years, I actually wanted to share good news with my parents, so I texted Mom back. Got promoted at work, senior developer now, doing well. She responded within minutes, Alex, oh honey, that's wonderful, can I call you? We talked for 2 hours. She cried, I cried, she told me how much they'd missed me, how proud they were, how sorry she was for everything that happened. Your father made a mistake, she said. He was scared you'd fail and get hurt. He thought he was protecting you. By kicking me out. He didn't think you'd actually leave. He thought you'd change your mind. We talked about reconciliation, about me visiting, about rebuilding our relationship. It felt good, like maybe we could fix this. Then she said something that stopped me cold. You have to understand, your father's pride was hurt. If you want to come home, you need to be the one to reach out to him first. Even after 9 years, even after I'd proven them wrong about everything, I was supposed to be the one to apologize. I told her I needed time to think about it. That was 6 months ago. Since then, the texts have become more desperate, more frequent. Both parents now, not just Mom. We want you to come home for Christmas. Dad's birthday is next week. He'd love to hear from you. We're getting older, Alex. Life's too short for this. And this morning, the call that prompted this post, Mom called at 7 a.m. crying. Alex, please. Your father had a small heart attack last week. Nothing serious, but it scared us. We need you to come home. We need our son back. I asked why they didn't call me when it happened. We didn't want to worry you unless it was serious. But it was serious enough to use as guilt ammunition a week later. She got quiet. Then, that's not what this is. Isn't it? More silence. Alex, please, just come home, just visit your father. He wants to apologize. He's ready to apologize. After 9 years, he's ready. He's been ready for a while, but he didn't know how. He's stubborn, you know how he is. Yeah, I know how he is. That's why I haven't come home. She started crying harder. We made mistakes, okay. We made terrible mistakes. But we're your parents. We love you. Doesn't that count for something? That's when I lost it. You know what would have counted for something? Supporting me when I was 18 and scared and just wanted to follow my dreams. You know what would have counted? Calling me when I graduated college, or when I got my first job, or literally any time in the past 9 years that wasn't because you needed something from me. Alex, I've built a whole life without you. I have friends who are more family to me than you've been. I have a girlfriend who supports my dreams instead of calling them fantasies. I have a chosen family that didn't throw me away the first time I disappointed them. But we're your real family. No, you're my biological family. There's a difference. I hung up. My phone has been ringing all morning. Mom, Dad, even some cousins I haven't talked to in years, all wanting me to come home to work things out, to forgive and forget. But here's the thing, I'm not angry anymore. I was for years, but I'm not now. I'm just done. I've spent 9 years building a life, becoming successful, proving them wrong about everything they said. And they only want me back now because I turned out okay despite them, not because of them. If Dad had really changed, if he was really sorry, he would have called me himself years ago. He would have been proud when I graduated or got my first job or any of the milestones I hit without them there to see it. But he didn't. He waited until I was successful enough to make them look good, until I had something they could brag about to their friends. Oh yes, our son Alex, he's a big shot in California now, works for a video game company. We always knew he'd make it. Except they didn't always know. They told me I'd fail. They told me I'd come crawling back. They made me choose between their love and my dreams, then acted surprised when I chose my dreams. Some people in my life think I should go home. They're getting older, they say. What if something happens and you regret not reconciling? But I think I'd regret reconciling more. I'd regret letting them back into my life just so they could disappoint me again. I'd regret giving them credit for my success when they did everything they could to prevent it. My girlfriend thinks I should at least talk to Dad directly. Maybe he really has changed, she says. Maybe he's learned from his mistakes. Maybe. But 9 years is a long time to wait for someone to admit they were wrong. And the fact that he still can't pick up the phone himself, that he's still sending Mom to do his emotional labor, tells me he hasn't changed as much as they claim. I don't owe them forgiveness just because we share DNA. I don't owe them a relationship just because I turned out successful. I don't owe them anything. They had 18 years to be my parents. They chose to end that relationship over my college choice. I didn't make them kick me out, they made that decision themselves. Now they want back in because my life looks good from the outside. But they weren't there for the hard parts. They weren't there when I was struggling, when I was scared, when I needed support. They only want the shiny, successful version of me. So Ada for not answering their calls. For not going home. For building a life that doesn't include the people who threw me away. Part of me thinks I should be the bigger person, should extend grace, should remember that parents make mistakes too. But another part of me thinks that some mistakes are too big to come back from. What would you do, Reddit? Update, holy shit, this blew up. Thank you all for the responses, even the ones calling me TA. I needed to hear different perspectives. Reading your comments, a few things became clear. 1. A lot of you have similar stories. That's both comforting and heartbreaking. 2. Some of you think I should give them another chance. I hear you. 3. Many of you pointed out that my dad sending Mom to make contact instead of calling himself is telling. 4. Several people mentioned that if Dad really had a heart attack, maybe this is a wake-up call for all of us. I've been thinking about it all day. I'm not ready to go home or have a big reconciliation, but maybe I can take a small step. I texted Mom back. I'm glad Dad is okay. I'm not ready to visit, but I'm willing to talk to him on the phone if he wants to call me directly. She responded immediately. He'll call tonight. We'll see if he actually does, or if this is another situation where Mom has to handle his emotions for him. I'll update again after we talk if we talk. Update 2, Dad called. It was awkward as hell, but he did call. His voice sounded older, more tired than I remembered. We talked for about 20 minutes. He did apologize. Not the non-apology I was expecting, but an actual I was wrong, I'm sorry. He admitted that he let his fear and pride make decisions that hurt our family. He said he's been wanting to call for years but didn't know what to say. I thought I was protecting you from failure, he said, but I ended up protecting you from us instead. That line got to me. He also said something that surprised me. Your mother shows me your LinkedIn sometimes. I've been proud of you for years, I just didn't know how to say it. We're going to try talking regularly. Phone calls, maybe video chats, see how it goes. I'm not promising anything beyond that yet, but it's a start. Mom texted after, thank you for giving him a chance to try. I guess we'll see where this goes. Thanks again, Reddit. You helped me figure out what I actually wanted, which wasn't to punish them forever, but to be treated with the respect I should have had 9 years ago. Still not sure if I'll ever go home, but at least now we're talking.